Welcome back. This is the K&A podcast. I am joined with my co-host Kenny, and I am Adrian Checo. It is finally great to be back, bro.
Why do you always say your government?
I don't know. It just feels formal, you know? So, how was your trip to Puerto Rico, bro?
Yeah, that shit was amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That shit was really good. Like, it got to the point where I wanted to get lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to go to the airport. And then I showed up to work the next day.
Damn. That's tough. That's all right. All good things come to an end.
No, I don't want it to come to an end.
What was your favorite part?
How you go to the beach? Crash boat? Yo, you went there?
No. What is that?
I don't even know what part. It was some part. It was on the complete other side of the island, though. But
Oh, it's a beach?
yeah.
Strong waves?
No, not at all. It was actually kind of the waves. But the water's dumb clear, and it was actually pretty deep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I liked it.
I mean, maybe I was there. I don't remember.
Yo, it had the pier. People were jumping in from there.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah. All I remember, I walked up to some guy who had a jet ski. I was like, yo, how much? He goes, oh, this is mine. I'm like, oh, nah. Yo, Thomas. Yo, Thomas.
All
Yeah,
right.
bro. I had a good time.
That's good.
Marcy.
Good to be back. All right. Today's
Debatable.
episode is about depression. So, I want to ask you, what is your definition of depression?
I don't think there's a subjective, like, one definition to it. Because I feel like it varies between people. Because it'll be like, people consider depression just, like, severe sadness. Or, like, some people consider depression just, like, a state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think it's a state of mind that you place yourself in when you're at your lowest point. I don't think it's necessarily something that you can pinpoint where exactly it happens or where there's a switch in your mind to make that happen. But I just think that it's a state of mind that you put yourself in because you've gone through so much.
Mm-hmm. I think we share kind of the same opinion. It's like, for me, I feel like depression is like a constant state of sadness that is just reimbursed by like your thoughts and what you perceive like the world to be. So it's like the things that you tell yourself on a daily basis is like what you're gonna end up feeling. So I feel like one of the most powerful things you could do is control your thoughts. If you control your thoughts and you control your words, then eventually your actions will just follow. Like anytime that like the customer that comes in that gets the Tall Hot Chocolate,
Michael?
yeah, that he comes in and he's like, every day he comes in, he's like, yo, how you doing, bro? Doing great, bro. Can't complain. Life is good. And he was like, if you do complain, who's gonna listen? So it's like,
That is true. Now he's spitting.
so it's like,
He's spitting.
you know. So, do you consider depression to be like a sickness?
A sickness, how? Like a mental disorder
Mm-hmm.
or something like that? Not necessarily. I feel like mental disorders or mental illnesses are, I think you're kind of, maybe, honestly, because I was going to say you're born with it, but you're not born with it all the time. What do you think, actually?
I feel like depression it's a warning to your body that something needs to change. So sometimes when you're depressed, a lot of the times it may be just like your current state of where you are right now. So it's like I find depression or just sadness when I, am not doing anything, when I'm not moving, when I'm not doing anything, and I feel like my life isn't amounted to anything.
But is that depression or is that just a state of sadness?
I mean, I guess you could classify it for both, because depression is sadness.
But I would feel like depression is like a long-term kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not depressed for a day. Like, are you necessarily genuinely depressed for a day and then you're good the next day? I think depression, although to me it's a state of mind, it's a state of mind you place yourself in for a long duration of time. Depression, I don't think, is resolved within like a week or two, or like you're sad for like a day so you're depressed. I think it's just something that lasts a long time that you yourself don't have answers to. So that's why you're in that state of mind, and that's why you should consider yourself depressed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, last year when I wasn't doing much, like I was in a constant state of just like sluggishness, like not wanting to do anything, but it was because I wasn't doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like me, I'm a very person that's driven on always moving and always just doing something. Because if you have free time, then that's when your thoughts, I feel like, start to kind of like take over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you get in your head too much. So it's like I feel like when you're always moving, when you're always doing something, unhappiness, discontentment, all that stuff can't catch up to you because you're just always doing something.
But is that really a fix, or is it just a temporary like resolution?
Well, what if you never stop? It's not temporary.
It's not temporary, but you're just blocking out something else. It's like you know how some people get in a car accident, they just put fucking tape on it.
Like Nissan Altima drivers.
Yeah, like they just put tape on it, or they get like that big Band-Aid and put it on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that's an actual fix. I feel like that's just it's a Band-Aid on a open wound. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not doing much. Although it is covered, it's like you're not necessarily hitting the root of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's people that are depressed and they'll just go to the gym every single day to forget about their problems rather than just hitting their problems head on. I'd much rather find the root of the problem and solve it from there rather than try to block it out with something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're running away from your problems rather than facing it head on.
Mm-hmm. Well, wouldn't you say that the gym is also a good place to get rid of it?
It is a good place to suppress it.
So you don't think it'll, in a way, make you feel better?
It can make you feel better, temporarily. People drink to be happy, temporarily. People smoke, people do a lot of things to just get a temporary, like, happiness.
Yeah, but those are kind of negative things. Like, the gym is a positive outlook.
Alright, so let's say gaming, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It is necessarily not doing anything wrong, but are you necessarily facing your problems head on? People that play the game be happy as hell at night, they go to work in the morning, they're still depressed. It's like it's a temporary fix. Yes, you go to the gym. Now let's say your problem, for example, is being overweight. You're facing your problem head on. You're going to the gym because that's directly resolving your problems. If you're depressed over a girl and your first thing shouldn't be, how do I get over her as quick as possible? It's more or less, let me self-reflect. Let me understand why I'm so hurt by this. And let me fix myself through this.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be like how you are as a person, getting closure, understanding the situation. Like these are all little things that people can understand and grasp the concept of to understand why they're in that state of mind.
Mm.
You know? Because I've seen people depressed over a girl for like a couple of years. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I feel like eventually those feelings always pass. Because it's like...
No, yeah, for sure. They definitely
so,
do.
But it's like, I feel like depression over a girl and depression over like your stage in life are two different things. So it's like a lot of the times...
With two different resolutions.
Yeah. So I feel like the best resolution... Even if a girl breaks your heart, I still feel like the best advice somebody could give you is to go into the gym. Or to go running or go do something activity-wise where it builds up your body and makes it look stronger.
And don't get me wrong, it's good to suppress that feeling, but you have to still get it by the root. You just have to get to the root of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's that saying with like weeds or something? You gotta get it by the root or some shit like that?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Never heard this saying.
It's something like that. But it's like, yeah, you can spray pesticide. Yeah, you can get rid of all this, but you're not gonna get rid of the root of the weeds without necessarily getting in and understanding why that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you necessarily gonna get rid of every single like rat or like people that got an exterminator for their house? The exterminator is getting to the root of the problem. He's getting to the source of why you have so many cockroaches, rats in your house. He's not gonna kill every little rat that he sees running around around your house. Mm-hmm. It's like you're not fixing the problem like that. It's a temporary fix. Yeah, I'm not seeing them now. Yeah, I'm going to the gym. But it's like, is that really going to cure my depression over this girl? It's keeping me busy. But is that the best solution for me? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it is only because when you go, you may suppress it. But then life still goes on. So things will come into your life that weren't there before. So now that you're going to the gym and you're getting fit, now you have all these extra opportunities also coming your way. And it's like, it's building just a better life.
I mean, I consider that a coping mechanism at that point. That's just a coping mechanism. I don't think that's really... It helps you forget, helps you move on, helps you keep you busy so you're not thinking about what's keeping you sad. But necessarily, you're still going to have that feeling inside you, like, yeah, I got all fit, I got all this, but like, what is changing about me as a human being? Yeah, I'm physically getting bigger. I'm physically looking more fit. I'm running more. I'm feeling fit. But what is that doing for you inside? Mm-hmm. Realistically.
I mean, I feel like it does a lot. Because for me, momentum and movement just makes me feel better. Anything that you can do to sweat something out automatically just makes me feel better.
And I think that's for you. That works for you. Mm-hmm. That's not going to work for everybody. Not everyone finds enjoyment in the gym. I hate the gym. Mm-hmm. I hate going in there. I just like going out, seeing progress after, a couple months. I'm like, man, I'm like tough. Mm-hmm. But those coping mechanisms don't work for me. I have to literally find the root of my problems and figure it out. If it's something, I have to self-reflect. Why am I feeling this way? What's going on in my life right now that's making me feel this way? Because I don't want to feel this way. Mm-hmm. Going to the gym is going to make me forget about it. As soon as I'm out the gym, now what? Am I going to stay in the gym 24 hours a day?
No, but that feeling that you get once you feel like you've accomplished something kind of rides as a high for a while.
For a while?
Yeah.
So what happens after? You just go right back to the gym? So what happens when you can't go to the gym? That's why I'm saying you have to find something that is going to cure you permanently. The gym is a temporary fix that you're going to ride until you feel good. And then what are you going to do? Go right back to the gym. So what happens when you can't go back to the gym because something happened?
Well, what is that something? Like, give me an example.
Your car break down, it's raining, you physically cannot walk there because it's going to be literally dangerous for you. So now you're stuck at home. Yeah, you do a couple push-ups. Now you're at home, you're laying in bed. So now what? Now you're back in your thought. You're thinking about this and now you're thinking how, what if things change, blah, blah, blah. It's a temporary coping mechanism. And I do recommend people going out and, getting fit, running, just having something that they could do to cope. It's a coping mechanism for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? If your depression directly stems from not feeling fit or not liking how your body looks, that is the perfect solution for you. Mm-hmm. Some people skip the gym entirely. Some people just pay it off and go to Dr. Miami. But I think that depression is such a wide scope that there's no one definitive answer to fix your problem. Mm-hmm. Unless you yourself know your own problem and you yourself know your own solution. Mm-hmm. Coping, there's plenty of coping mechanisms that everyone could do, but that's not going to help you in the long run. It might help you if you go to the gym consistently 10 years and there's people that be doing this and still be hung up on a girl from high school. Because all they did was, I'm going to gym. It's like, okay, you look fit, you look good, you look healthy, but how are you on the inside? Are you genuinely happy because you're fit?
But no. Didn't that still create a positive thing for you? Because it's like, they still remember that girl that may have left them in high school, but they use that as a source to just be as strong and as...
I don't think you should use that as a source. I don't think you should use your depression as a source to continue on with life, because now your purpose is to just be better for a girl that didn't want you. That's just an example.
But you're not being better for that girl. You're being better for yourself. You're changing yourself.
No, but there's people that are driving themselves to be better because they hate this person. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to the gym for them. I'm going to the gym for myself, and that's a positive purpose for me to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to the gym to impress somebody else. I'm going to the gym for me.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And there's people that are too hung up on impressing other people rather than impressing themselves. And that's why I think that these types of coping mechanisms are good, but they're not necessarily recommended in all situations. Because there's plenty of things people can be depressed with. It could be death in the family, an outing with their friends, a girlfriend again, work. It literally could be anything. And I don't always want to recommend that they should go to the gym. Only because it's like, I'd much rather you understand yourself, and I want you to know what it is that you need for yourself to feel better.
So you said that most people, they can get depression from anything. So death of a family member. What advice would you give them if they going through a death of a family member to not get over it, because you're never going to get over it, but help to make it better?
What is that thing called? The 7 stages of grief? I think that's a good start. What's it? Grief, anger. There's a bunch of them. I forgot the 7 stages. But I know at the beginning is gonna suck. But for me, what I did, so I lost. So you know how you have like your parents are really close to people and you consider them like your uncle, your grandfathers, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a grandmother that who wasn't my grandmother, who I would consider that way, and she had passed. I think I was I want to say 12, and that shit really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that the first thing that literally within minutes, because you know her actual kids were tearing up, obviously because that's their mother. The first thing that I said as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy was, honestly, I don't think you guys should be as sad as you are, because I'm happy that she's able to move on to a better place because she was such a great woman.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, her spirit is still around you, and I'm 1,000% sure that she's protecting with all she can for wherever she is. Because to me, our bodies are just stuck in some flesh. It's just a soul and a body. And then after that, you do life, you go on, you pass over to wherever it is. And I always think that Passover is a better place. So whenever when people are sad about their pets, family, I always tell them, like, listen, the first thing you gotta do is just accept the fact that it happened. There's no bringing them back, none of that. I accept that. I'm happy that they were able to move on into a better place. Because not everyone's happy here at the end of the day. But accepting that they're passing on, everything will be fine, and I will eventually see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Reincarnation. You believe in reincarnation?
Mm-mm.
I do.
I believe that
sure
once you die, you go to either heaven or hell.
I think that people are reincarnated when they have unfinished business here that they don't know about.
Yeah, but then there's purgatory, I believe.
So the way I see it is that, I believe in God, is that if he feels like you died too early, he gives you an option of just continuing as a spirit or restarting in a different life where you will eventually finish whatever you started. Because I saw one thing where this boy, I think it was someone's uncle who died, and they eventually had a family, started raising a family, and they gave birth to a little boy who knew of the memories of the uncle. But my theory is that the uncle just had something that he wanted to do on Earth that he couldn't finish wherever he was sent to. Mm-hmm. And he was sent back to finish it as that little boy without any memories of it. Mm-hmm. But I just think that acceptance and understanding of death is probably one of the most important things. And I think that that's one of the things that lead into like most people's depression. Just the loss of somebody. Mm-hmm. That's probably the hardest thing that I want to say is for people.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think what is something that like most men suffer from? Like, what do you think is a common factor among, let's say, 5 out of 10 males that you see that they suffer from, like they get depressed from this specific thing?
Personally, bro, women.
Women?
I see so many guys get depressed over women. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I don't get it. Mm-hmm. I really don't. It's either women or just feeling like they don't have a place in the world. It's either or. It depends on like who you talk to. But this is what I'm usually surrounded by. A lot of people depressed by women and people just not knowing where they are in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say that like for most men, it's like finding their purpose, finding their fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Because it's like as a man, you're just like, people don't only care about men under the condition that you provide something. Mm-hmm. So it's like you have to find what it is that it is your purpose. And a lot of times you don't get it right away. It takes you years to find it. And that's where most people like get that depressed state when it's like they don't know what they're doing with their life.
And I agree because like, I mean, even I felt like that at one point. Because it's like, I'm such and such age and that's like, how much time do I have before I can figure it out? And I feel like that's not even just men, that's a lot of people that don't know what they want to do. or how to do what they want to do, and they're just stuck in a state of limbo trying to figure it out, and they can't. You know, I feel that's for a lot of people at least. Like,
so what would you give if you could give 3 keys to try to find that kind of like passion in you? What do you think it would be? Anyway, technical difficulties. So, what do you think are like the 3 keys that you give to a man trying to find that?
I guess purpose. Patience is one for sure. Patience, heavy on the patience. I feel like people that are real impatient to find their purpose, that they end up losing the way. They end up finding a shortcut. It's not even really what they want to do. 2. I don't know. I feel like patience is just, I don't know. That's just me. I feel like I just gotta be more patient. I'm just going off like what's the word? My own experience. I feel like if I'm more patient, I'd find a lot more within myself to continue pursuing whatever it is I want to pursue. What would you have?
I would say 3 things: competition, risk taking, and seeking status. So it's competition. Men especially are great when you put them to be competitive, not be better than somebody else. Just put them with a group of people that will drive them. So I'm a big believer in, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself again around people that they want more in life, that they want what's best for them, eventually you're going to gravitate to that. And you're just going to, that fuels that competitive energy within each other, not to be better than each other, not to outwork each other or
you
like
just want to be
compete.
on the same level as your friends.
Just be like, listen, if you go to the gym and let's say me and you are the same weight, right? And let's say you hit 160 and I'm still at 150. Now is my obligation as your partner to be like, you know what, he hit 160, let me try to get to that 160. So you surround yourself around those people, creating that competitive energy within each other to make each other better. 2, with risk taking, I feel like you necessarily always have to take a jump. So it's like sometimes you may not feel like you may not feel like what you're doing is the best decision, but if you feel it like in your gut that you're making the right decision, even though people outside are telling you, you know, it's kind of not what you're supposed to do, and you believe in it, I feel like you should take that risk. And then
I think I like that one, because I think a lot of people are too comfortable being comfortable, and that's not necessarily bad, but it's like once you're stuck in a routine that you know you can't get out of, it's like, how do you expect to progress like that? Unless it's something that you're routinely doing to benefit you. You know, people are just comfortable just going to the same job, knowing that they hate the job, but it's just comfortable to go because you're just used to it.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, and then the other one is, in my opinion, is status seeking. So it's like you should feel like wherever you want to be in life, that in the future you're like, for me, I want to be somewhere in the future where it's like people bring their problems to me because I can help you, and I would be honored to have that, you know, to give life advice and stuff like that. Like my uncle is one of those people. Like you could go to him with anything and he would most likely 9 times out of 10 give you an answer, but it's because, you know, he's had 40, 50 years on this earth. He went through so many experiences, so many things that he can give you pointers on. So it's like, I want to be one of those people that when I grow up, I'm doing great for myself and the people around me are doing great as well. And anytime that they have a problem, they can come to me and feel comfortable that I'll give them the right answer.
Is that status seeking or is that leadership then? I don't consider that status seeking. I feel like status seeking would be like, I don't want to be a middle class person. I want to be a higher class person, as in like money wise, or I don't want to be Starbucks. I don't want to be a barista. I want to be a supervisor. I want to be a store manager. That's what I see as status seeking. I see what you're saying more as leadership, because you can be a leader at whatever level you're at. It doesn't even matter if people are above you. You can still be considered a leader. People can still come to you. I don't know. I think it might be the wording. The wording is negative to me. Status seeking. I think to me, it's leadership. So the question that Adrian wanted to ask before we got cut off was, what do you think is the main focus that is leading most men into depression?
I think they're struggling, like they're struggling to look into the future. So I feel like when most people are depressed, they're looking at the right now. They're looking in the moment. So it's like you're living too much in the moment. There's living in the moment, and then there's living too much in the moment. So it's like, I feel like when you're struggling with depression, you kind of like feel like, at least for me, from my experience, it was like I was living too much in the moment, feeling like nothing was ever gonna get better. Like I was never gonna change. I was always gonna stay the same, and it's because I didn't find anything to progress goals towards. So it's like something like this. I have goals towards the end of the year, what I hope it will achieve, and that gives me happiness. That gives me fulfillment. That gives me something to strive for. But when you don't have anything, it's like you're living too much in the moment. So everything's bothering you, and it's just all that weight just keeps adding, like getting piled up. So it's like you're focusing too much on the person that cut you off in traffic or something, or like the person that was rude to you at your job, and it just messes up your whole day. And you're just like, bro, like I had this customer, bro, just yell at me, call me a dickhead, and that was like 6 hours ago, but I can't let it go. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you're living too much in the moment.
I think that for me, at least, I feel like I'm a person that lives in the moment,
But
not too in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I said this on the pod. I like to live in the moment because I get anxiety thinking about the future. So I think that everything that's happening for me is pre-planned, and I just have to trust it. So I live in the moment. But what I will say is that people get mad or angry at things that are out of their control. And that's the problem when you're living too in the moment. You're too worried about things that are out of your control. For example, at work, it'll be very busy, and I will get visibly frustrated in the moment, obviously, because it's like, look what's going on. It's busy, and then I got a customer yelling at me for some stupid reason. And then I go home and I'm fine. Yeah. Because, like, am I really going to let 5 minutes in my day ruin the rest of my 24 hours? No. I go home and be like, I had a pretty calm day. Wasn't amazing.
But in the moment, you didn't think that way.
In the moment, I freaking hate it.
Okay.
And I hate myself.
So what would I would give you this to be like, next time you're in that moment, right? This is something that I use, like when I feel like I don't want to run. It's like I always think about how I'm gonna feel. Like, let's say I go to run at like 8 o'clock. Why are you laughing?
I'm not.
You look like you laughing. Anyway, so like, let's say I decide, all right, I'm gonna go run at 8, and when I wake up at like 7:30, I'm like, damn, bro, I don't want to run. I always think about like, oh, how am I gonna feel at 11 once I'm done running? Because that satisfaction that you get whenever you're done doing something, physical, and you gave it your all, and like you sweat it out, everything, and then you come home and you take a shower and you just feel great. So I always think about that. Anytime that I don't feel like doing something in that moment, I think about, okay, how am I gonna feel at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock?
I think that depends on what's going on. Like, if you're battling yourself, then yeah, I agree with that 1,000%. But if you're dealing with other people, then that's kind of like where I think of what's in my control in that moment. I'm controlling my emotions, I'm control of how I'm presenting myself, and I'm control of what's going on around me. So if there's a customer in front of me being rude, I can't control their actions, I can't control my actions, and I can control the actions of people around me. So, for example, if a customer is getting rude with me, and I'm going to try my best to be as calm as possible, and I'm also going to try my best to calm the area around me, because like, I'm not going to make a scene in the middle of a store, I'm not going to make a scene in front of people. I more or less know that I'm going to be frustrated in the moment, and as long as I know that in the future, within like 10-15 minutes, that I'm good, I personally don't mind. I feel like a lot of people bottle up emotions, and I think that's the wrong way to go about it. I think you should just let it out. But as a man, whether that means crying, there's nothing wrong with crying. I cry every Thursday nights. Don't ask why. Okay. Crying, letting out frustration. There's many methods to let this out. If you have anger problems, sign up for freaking boxing. You can let your anger out on anybody. Yeah. And they literally would let you. Like, you literally have the option to let out your anger on somebody. You know what you could do too? I've been wanting to go. It's like, you ever seen those places that let you like destroy stuff?
Yeah, Rage Room.
Yo, I've been wanting to go to one, but
Yeah,
like
no.
not for a particular reason. I just think that's just fun.
Yeah, it just looks fun. Yeah.
There's like people be angry at the gym. Like, yo, that's perfect. That's perfect fuel. Like, let your anger out the gym. Let your anger out in positive ways rather than. I know people that be punching walls and doors. I'm like, bro, why are you doing that? You gotta go buy a new door and fix your wall. Like, come on, bro. How you gonna have a girl over? You got a hole in your wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, there's many things you could do to control situations for yourself, and there's plenty of ways to let that energy flow out in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Even if someone's giving you negative energy, doesn't mean you have to reciprocate that energy.
Mm-hmm. So I had a question here, and it was, how does depression affect your daily life, and what are some things you could do to help get out of the slump? And you kind of like said it already. It's like, but for the overall, I feel like your message was just like find something positive to put your energy into.
Yeah, it's like I could be depressed over this girl, and a lot of the times it's in high school too. So it's like I feel like you have so many outlets as a young person, like young guys that are depressed over women in high school. It's like sign up for a club, get into a sport, do something, like start a YouTube channel, start streaming, like go out with your guys, have a good time. Why are you worried about this one person that's not worried about you? Why are you so worried about something that's out of your control now? Like, why are you so depressed over a grade, a job that didn't call you back? Didn't get a good grade? Let's start studying. Let's start fixing those grades. You didn't get a job? Why didn't I get this job? Is it because they weren't hiring? Is it because I wasn't qualified? Or are they actually just being assholes? Two of these things are in your control. One of them isn't. Take what's in your control. You want to be friends with these people that don't want to be friends with you, and you have people around you that you surround yourself with that want to be friends with you, make those connections with these people stronger. Why are you so worried about the people that don't like you? They don't care about how you feel. The people that actually want to be around you, those are the connections you should be strengthening. I had this conversation with my girlfriend who was kind of sad about people that didn't necessarily want to be around her or whatever. And I'm just like, don't worry about them. They don't care that you feel this way right now. Like, strengthen the bond that you have right now. And what happened, like a day later, she went out with her friend and had a good ass time.
Yeah.
Just like, these are just a lot of the things that people are worried about, and it's out of their control.
I feel like some things that you could do in your daily life is just to create a sequence of habits. So it's like something that you hold on to that you know you could do every morning or every night or in the afternoon or something like that. So it's like in the morning you could shut your phone off, go take a walk in the sun. Like, it just might make you feel better.
Yeah, it might. My thing is I like washing my car. I get a little sad. I guess I gotta wash the car. It could be spotless, bro. I'm still washing it. It varies. You just gotta find your own thing.
Yeah, because for me, I know like I like to go out in the sun because it's like it's been proven to show that vitamin D helps improve your mood. So it's like if I can shut off my phone, not worry about the world, not worry about what's going on around me, and just literally just go up to the reservoir and just be around nature and be around the sun, that improves my mood.
I feel like for me it's music. I listen to a lot of music, like a lot, and I'll find music. I'll listen to anything. Not K-pop though. I can't.
Yeah, no, I can't.
That should give me a headache. But like I think I can listen to like honestly anything, and it could really like make or break my mood realistically. If I'm sad, I listen to fucking Juice WRLD. It's so calm. And even that, like even just listening to a sad song puts me in a better mood. It's like I'm not alone. There's someone else going through the same thing, and although he is dead, R.I.P. It's like there's people going through the exact same thing that are bettering themselves right now. So why am I stuck in a position where I'm just feeling like I'm alone? You're not the only one going through something. And as messed up as it sounds, there is people doing much worse.
Yeah.
So just try to better yourself.
Yeah.
Think positively. It's gonna get better.
Yeah. I think another thing that you could do, that's what I would recommend. If you do cold plunging, listen to me. Listen to me. Cold plunging is the best therapy that is not therapy. I am telling you, any sadness you feel, any anxiety, I promise you that cold water will wash it away. It literally sit there for 10 minutes and watch the mood that you get when you come out. And you don't need, like, if you don't have the space to do, like, I'm blessed to have a space where I could do it, like, in my backyard. But let's say you're not blessed and you don't have that opportunity. If you have a tub, you do it in your tub to put the cold water. Like, I know a friend that does it in his tub, and he'll put, like, a bag of ice or something. And he was like, yo, the first time I did it, bro, I could barely get my feet inside. But when he was finished, he did, like, 10 minutes. His mood improved. Like, I'm telling you, man, I recommend that wholeheartedly. That if you have the ability to do that, do that. If you can't, take a cold shower. I promise you.
What's next? I feel like that was the advertisement for me to do a cold plunge.
Nah, that wasn't an advertisement. I'm just saying that that's something that I used, and I guarantee you it makes you feel better.
Oh, yeah, bro. I hope I forget all my problems while I'm freezing.
Exactly. You ain't worried about nothing else except that cold water. So everything else just washes away. I promise you.
I feel like if I lived in like a tropical place, I would just go swimming a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be me.
Yeah, no.
You know what's crazy? I can't go in the sun, bro. I feel like, I went to Puerto Rico for 5 days, bro. I'm freaking dark as hell. I tan too easily. I can't go in the sun. People gonna know I'm going out to cope. They're like, oh, nah, Kenny's sad again. Look at him tanning.
Oh, man. Anyway, so what advice would you give to young people, like, battling a depressed state?
What I give it to young people? Honestly, you're young, man. You have so much ahead of you. So much time ahead of you. Mm-hmm. And it's like your whole future is ahead of you. There's people that only... I really... thing for me is I feel bad for those that don't get to live a long life, simply because I feel like they never will know their true potential, and people that just unfortunately leave this earth so early, it's like, it sucks, because I know they were able to achieve greatness. Like you seen that girl, she graduated college at 14 and she has her doctoral now at 17. That's crazy.
No,
that's crazy. But who knew that she had that potential? Like, other than her. She had to know that.
I feel like you could look at that advice in two ways. I wouldn't give that advice only because I feel like young people, they'll hear what you say and then they'll gravitate to what other people are doing. So a lot of times, if you say something like, yo, you got so much time, live, all that stuff, most of the time they'll gravitate to the fact that, oh, like, I'm 20, yo. Like, let's go to the club. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go out. Let's go party. Let's go do all this stuff, right? Like, I feel like that. You could look at that advice in a good way, or you could look at it in the bad way. And, like, I feel like the bad way is, like, you going to the club every single weekend. You wasting your money on bottles and meeting the wrong people and keeping that wrong circle around you. Mm-hmm. So, I feel like when you're young, try as many things as you can. Because you have the advantage of youth on your side. So you have the energy. You have all the tools that you need right now so that the second half of your life, you can do whatever the hell you want. That's how I look at it.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I could see where it could go wrong. But, I mean, to me, I personally don't do it. There's nothing wrong with having fun.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let fun get in the way of what you are wanting to do in life.
Yeah. And I feel like another thing that you could say is, like, they tell us, yo, you have so much time. But at the end of the day, you never know how long you're going to be on this earth for. So this is this quote, right? And it goes like this.
Hey, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but Adrian couldn't get this quote out, so I'm going to say it for you guys. This had to relate to the fact that I said that my advice to people would be that they have a lot of time and that they're very young and his rebuttal was that, well, this is the quote he had. You don't know how long we have on this earth, and there's a famous quote that says, most of us die in our early 20s and 30s and are buried till our late 70s. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, you just feel like...
Here's your notebook.
You just feel like you have so much time in your early 20s and 30s. And as I said, like, you could look at that advice in two different ways. And you don't know how long you're going to be here. So it's like, take advantage of the... You know that you're here right now. So just take advantage of the moment.
But what would you say to someone that lives too in the moment then? That are just... You tell them that and they're just like, okay, well, right now I'm just stuck in this state of depression because such and such happened and I can't get over it.
Mm-hmm. So it's just... You have to find something that you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. Once you find something that you're passionate about, eventually those goals will come. So once those goals come, you appreciate what you're doing right now, and you're thankful for all the things that you're doing leading up to where you want to go. So it's like, I have a goal for the end of this year. So it's like, I'm working towards that end of this year goals. So that's what I would say.
Okay. I agree with that. I feel like a lot of the things that people are concerned about are just things that they shouldn't possess so much energy or put so much energy towards. Like, you could put that same energy towards something else. Some goal, some achievement. It's like once you reach that achievement, it's like, okay, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're slowly fading away from that state of mind that you're putting yourself in that is keeping you like that.
Yeah. I just feel like anytime that you're moving, unhappiness just can't catch up to you. Like, speed, momentum, that's your greatest motivators. Use them.
What do you say to people that keep themselves in that state of mind?
What do you mean?
Like a depressive state of mind. The people that consistently listen to sad music.
You're doing this to yourself.
Sad movies.
You're doing this to yourself.
They'll tell themselves that they're not worth this and that. What do you have to say to people?
You're doing this to yourself, and you're looking for attention. You're looking for people to feel sorry for you, and that's the last thing that I would say is like, there's a difference between. I feel like there's a difference between being sad and it's out of your control, but there's certain things that you can do to control it. But those people that just look for an excuse, it's like you want people to pity you. And I'm going to give you a harsh reality of the world. The world don't care. It does not care how you feel, unfortunately. The only people that might care is hopefully like sorry, technical difficulties.
Again.
So, as I was saying, it's just sometimes people are just looking for attention. It's like you're looking for an excuse to feel sorry for yourself. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but the world just is a very cruel and it's a very mean place. And besides maybe like your mom and your dad and probably your sibling, nobody else cares what you're going through. So it's like sometimes you got to say fuck your feelings and just get up and go.
You know what it is too? I think a lot of people make excuses for why they feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just like, oh, well, this around me is happening. I'm like, okay. So now what?
Yeah.
You gonna let that consume you the whole time, or are you actually gonna control what's in your power and change that about yourself? Like holding yourself accountable is probably one of the biggest things I recommend for people. It's like once you know where you went wrong and you can understand why you went wrong, that's step one.
Yeah, I feel like people you're looking too much for a scapegoat, and you just gotta understand that all the answers are in your own head. So once you find the root of it, then you finally start to change. But the only way you start to change is by being honest with yourself. Mm-hmm. Break yourself down. Be accountable to yourself.
There's just too many people, like, even there's people I know that just, they'll blame everything around them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll make excuses for themselves. And it's just, like, just take accountability first.
Mm-hmm.
You'll understand a lot more about your depression once you take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many aspects. Relationship, friendships, family. It's like, take accountability of what's going on around you. Control what you can.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so
my biggest advice.
There's something that I want to ask your opinion on, right?
Okay.
So 50 Cent said this. It was a little controversial what he said. So I'm going to repeat it. He said...
I probably agree. I'm not going to lie.
He said, depression is a luxury because there are plenty of people who do not have a choice to be depressed and have to wake up day in and day out and provide regardless of how they feel.
I agree.
Do you agree?
I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree. Because people that have time to just sit there and just be sad rather than just get up and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you putting so much energy into just being in this state of mind and leaving yourself in this state of mind instead of doing something to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you punching holes in the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Take a boxing class.
Yeah.
Why are you, like, why are you taking your frustration out on your family members, your friends, your coworkers? Find an outlet for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with what he said big time. Because it's like he said, there's a lot of families out there that don't have the ability to just feel sad. They just have to wake up and just provide for their family regardless of how they feel.
You know what it is? I think they do feel sad. It's just like they don't have time to sit there and let it swallow them.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like, it's not necessarily, because I feel like that people will just misinterpret the quote.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're sad. They just don't have time to sit there and like let that emotion swallow them whole. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they're actively going out and trying to push forward even though they're feeling this way. Why are you letting this stop you from doing whatever it is you want? You know? Why are you stopping yourself from being the person you want to be just because you feel like a little sad? Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with, allowing yourself to, let your emotions embody themselves and express yourself however it is you feel like it. But don't let that be your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let depression be your personality at that point, because then is it really real? As fucked up as that sounds.
Yeah. So, to end it off, what would you give? What is one advice you would give to somebody?
Control what you can control. And being comfortable, don't be comfortable being comfortable. Those are two things I live by.
Mm-hmm.
Control what you can control, and don't be comfortable being comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Something I would say is just to avoid living too much in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and just understand that all the answers are in your head. It's you versus yourself. So just understand that anything that's going on in your head, you can figure it out as long as you're willing to break it down. So it's like 50 Cent said, it's like sometimes you just gotta really say fuck your feelings, man. I'm sorry if that sounds cruel, but it's just, that may be what you need to hear sometimes. Don't look for a scapegoat. Sometimes things are in your control, and you can control it.
Hold yourself accountable. Don't make excuses for yourself.
Yes, sir.
People around you don't care. The only person that should care is you.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Should we kiss now?
This is the K&A podcast. Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate y'all. Hopefully this day helped you. We appreciate you.
See you later.
Aura when you drop the shaker cap.